What I'd like to explain now is subdivisions, like I mentioned last segment. Now, one of the things about subdivisions is the fact that all groupings of notes can somehow be broken down to the numbers 2, 3, or a combination of both 2 and 3. So what goes on is if we were to take 5, for example, it's a subdivision of 2 and 3. It can also be 3 and 2. So if I say the word hippopotamus, hippo, that's 2, potamus, that's 3. So hippopotamus, 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 hippopotamus. Then what you'd want to do is practice that grouping of 5 until it becomes quite a flow, okay? You don't want to sort of just try and keep on counting. You get to the point where it's just... So they're quintuplets there, you see. Just as an added point, with single stroke rolls, do you notice it's right to left? You see? So if I'm playing crotchets, let's say, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Then when I go to triplets, still see the right to left, right, left, right, left, right, left, quintuplets, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, you see. So whenever you're playing single stroke rolls and you're playing in odd numbered groupings like 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and eventually up to 11, 13, 15, etc., what's going to happen is that if you're playing single stroke rolls, you're always going to have that feeling of right to left. That's quite important for the groove and the feel. Okay, so this is obviously an advanced concept, and what happens is that it doesn't matter to me how advanced it is, as long as it's got a groove and it swings and it does everything right. Okay, you only have to mention people like Frank Zappa, Vinnie Colaiuta as a drummer, Terry Bozzio as a drummer, composers such as Stravinsky and Bartok, just to name two, bands like King Crimson and latter bands like Tool with Danny Carey on drums, and Dream Theater, let's say, with Mike Portnoy on drums. All of these people deal in subgroupings of notes and complex note groupings and complex time signatures and all of this. It's all related. And what I'm trying to do here is give you a little bit of an in from taking things that are so basic as our basic counting systems like 1 eander, 2 eander and triplets and all of that sort of stuff, and then applying them to these new things, which is what I'm doing now. So that's what goes on here. Subdivisions. When you start to talk about breaking the beat up, when you're talking about sevens, for instance, there's 3 subdivisions usually. The most common, probably, arguably, is 2, 2, and 3. Gina, Lola, Brigida. So Gina, Lola, Brigida, Gina, Lola, Brigida, Gina, Lola, Brigida, Gina, Lola, Brigida, Gina, Lola, Brigida. You try and get it rolling off the tongue. I can't stress the importance of counting out aloud or saying things aloud. Something about we humans, as far as if we can say it, we can play it. If we say it sloppy, it usually comes out sloppy. If we say it hippopotamus, 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 it usually comes out hippopotamus, 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 hip, and so on. You see, so there's a certain amount of precision in learning to count aloud fluently and, yes, quickly, all that sort of stuff. Just takes a bit of work, but no problems at all. So what I'd like to do now is start to talk about these subdivisions in a little bit more of, like bringing them out so we start to get the idea of larger numbers, that kind of thing. So I'm up to 7. Let me go at least from 1 to 10, okay? Let me get the straightforward ones out the way. When we just play crotchets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 2 quavers, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and triplets, 1 and a 2 and a 3 a 3 and a semiquavers, 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E quintuplets. Hippopotamus, 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 hippopotamus. I'll stop there. Sextuplets now. Let's talk about 6 in a beat. 2 ways to subdivide it. Okay, you can have triplets, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and simply double it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Or you can play quavers, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and tripletize the quavers. What I mean by that is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 3 and 4 and 1. There you go. You see, so when you're building up these notes. 7s I've talked about, Gina Lola Brigida, Gina Lola Brigida, Gina Lola Brigida, Gina Lola Brigida, and then 8s, if you will, are 32nd notes or demi-semi-quavers, and you just put 4 to a quaver group. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Now 9s is the next one. Okay, so if we tripletize the triplet, 3 times 3 is 9. So what can happen is that you can have 1 and R, and then it comes in on 2. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and 1. There you have it. And what happens now is 10s. So I've gone from 1 to 10. Now what 10 is, once again, you can subdivide it in a couple of ways. Always remember, the larger the number, the more subdivisions you can have. But with 10, once again, you can have 2. You can double a quintuplet. 2 5s are 10. So you go hippopotamus, 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 hippopotamus. Double it up. Hippopotamus, 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 hippopotamus. Like that. Or you quintupletize, if that's a word, quavers. So you can have hippopotamus, 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 counted as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Do you see that even though I'd write a piece of music with 10 notes with 10 on top, and people will look, how are you going to play that? Do you notice that underneath it all, there's still that groove of just quavers? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And there you have that, you see. So that's a little bit more, and I'll give you a little bit more again after the break. Okay.